Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's candle wax reading, general messages. Before I get into the readings, a couple of quick announcements. Some of you may have noticed personal reading services are now available at theenergynook.com. You will find those details in the description box and I will also pin them in the comments. And there's also an ongoing competition currently to win a free past, present and future reading by participating in the membership survey that I may be adding to the channel. Okay, so let's now see what you have to choose between. Pile 1 or candle 1 is the blue candle and candle 2 is the purple candle. I do hear that both bowls may connect to you today, so keep that in mind if you want to just sit through both readings. The birds are very talkative today, so there may be background noise, though yes, it's full spring here and the weather is beautiful, and so the birds are really having a great time in the garden and all of that. So all right, I will start with the readings. See you at yours. Hello bowl 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the blue candle. Let's take a look at some general messages for you, okay? The first thing that I'm hearing is that it's taken care of, okay? There's a situation that is taken care of, and I also hear that soon it's going to be out of your hands. You've done what you've needed to do, you've done as much as you could do, and now there is help on the way. For many of you, this is coming in a form of help from the universe, from whoever you believe in, right? It's from a spiritual perspective, but also there is help in the physical reality, okay? And it involves people who are going to offer you assistance, offer you guidance, and what I hear is offer relief, okay? So what does come forward quite strongly here is a financial relief, okay, a financial assistance. Now it can be both. It can be coming in from a spiritual perspective and also in the physical reality as well. It doesn't have to be either or. And I see that once this is done, you're going to have a kind of freedom that you've not experienced before, okay? And you're going to be able to actually set in motion, okay, the things that you want to have in your life and your lifestyle, because here there's something to do with you winning. Yes, this can relate to some type of situation where you're winning, you know, from a legal standpoint. Yes, that does come forward, but it doesn't have to just be that, okay? There's other ways this can be showing up for you in the collective. And I see that from that moment forward, you're going to be able to live your life, have your lifestyle. And this can be also like you've waited a certain period for a particular financial approval, right? This could be from inheritance. This is something that was a process that you had to get documents to prove and to provide for, right? So it's not been like a short process. It's kind of took its time and there's been delays here and there. But you can expect delays to be over, bowl 1, okay? Especially where financial things are concerned. I see that you have a tree in your bowl, okay? I refer to this as the tree of life, the tree of wisdom, and I'm also being given the book of wisdom, okay? So I see that what you have used to get you through and to move forward regards to wisdom, insight and knowledge, you really have practiced what you preach. And it's not to say that you are the kind of person who goes around telling people, oh, this is how this works, and you know, you should check this out and this might help you with something. Like, certainly you're an empathic person. I do have like an earth angel kind of energy. You don't have to identify with that, but it's this energy of you will help others where you can, okay? But practicing what you preach is really coming from that self journey and self-reflection, self-awareness, and you putting into practice like this sense of advocacy for yourself. Like, yeah, like I'm actually healing and I'm changing, and I'm going to advocate for what I know I have my rights to. It's very much so an emphasis on rights here, and then touching back on that freedom, rights and freedom. And just going back to the tree of life, okay, this is also representing that very rooted and grounded energy. So stand your ground. Continue to do so moving forward. That's not something that has to come to an end because now you've conquered this situation, you know, where it is the financial situation, or you've overcome the delays and challenges there. And there is also an energy of getting out of financial predicaments, including debts of some kind, and finally being free of that. And in some instances I have this sense of, oh, you know, that finally got sold. Now I finally have that out of the way. I can focus on what's ahead, okay? So very much so, it's turning into quite a financial reading here, though I do not feel that's all we're going to see in the reading today. Okay. I'm being given this reference to coldness and the cold, coming out of the cold, and also this sense of melting. You know, in my mind's eye I have this picture of a heart, and the heart is like, you know, it's covered in ice, but it's melting away. There's something that's softening. Okay, so I am now being pulled towards romantic and love energy here. There's someone who, they want to be able to do that. They want to be able to melt your heart, like, so to speak, like melt your barriers, and to kind of bring you out of some type of coldness they feel they're receiving from you, okay? Now, remember, you'll all be on different parts of the timeline. That doesn't have to be currently what is happening. This can be to come, so keep that in mind. Therefore, it's predictive, okay? Though for some of you, of course, this is a current energy regards to a person around you, okay? And this does also indicate a breaking of no contact. This doesn't mean that necessarily there's reconciliation. We will see if that energy comes forward regards to a no contact. But certainly there is someone who wants to get close to you and to be able to get past a certain barrier. Now, when it comes to the current energy and this person who wants to kind of get past the barrier with you and melt your heart, so to speak, I see that this is someone who is familiar. They're in your life, right? It's current, but there's also a bit of a distance. There's kind of an obstacle, I feel. So there could be work, it could be a work dynamic, you know, a friendship dynamic that's transitioning into a love relationship. So keep that in mind, okay? You don't have to even necessarily be dating this person currently. And this role of melting the heart can also be reversed here. This can be an effect that you're having on someone. That does also come forward. So not that you're trying to do that, but it's like an effect of you being you, okay? And there's attraction that's developing, right? Ball 1, I'm hearing that you have some important travel upcoming. This travel is short, it's temporary. I see that for many of you, this trip involves visiting certain places. Yes, there is a work element for some, though for many this is more of a leisure. Some of you are going to a place that you've wanted to go for some time now. In other instances, it's a place you frequent, but somehow you're going to see a different perspective, a different view of a place you normally frequent with this travel. So it can be a particular monument, a historical site that you've not seen yet. there's something about you haven't seen it yet, and it's going to really blow your mind. You're going to be really taken aback by how wonderful and interesting and unique this place is. Okay, so this could be, you know, that sense of like 7 wonders of the world. You know, you're going somewhere that's quite particular. All right. I'm hearing that apples can be significant. Okay. The sense of these apples being significant, there's a couple of meanings, but one is there's something about nutrition here. Okay. And the other is that it's about abundance, and that, you know, having basic needs met, basic needs covered, but plenty. Okay, let me try to describe this more accurately. So, how we can have apples available to us like abundantly, right? Like it's a fruit that it can be in a few different climates. It's not a specialist fruit is what I'm getting at, right? So I'm seeing this as being like the needs you have being met multiple times, like more than once. And yes, it's basic needs, but somehow you're going to surpass that. Because there's just going to be so much. I see like those big baskets of apples, and just like a farm that just has apples, like orchids, right? It's orchids is more the word. You may also have local orchids near you, and you're going to visit orchards, okay, and collect apples. This is something I'm seeing, you know, occur in the physical reality. Apple picking. I got there in the end. Yeah, some of you may also be fond of apples and apple desserts, okay? Could also be a cultural reference for some. Okay. And touching back on the nutrition, there's something here that's improving, okay? There's this sense of kind of getting more out of like what you choose to eat, and it giving you the nutrition that you need. Okay, there's healing at a physical level, I will say that. And for many of you, it's to do with stress. After having gone through copious amounts of stress, okay, you can expect relief and to be able to build up your nutrition again, okay? Candle is burning, interesting. Kind of looks like a bottlenose dolphin. Yeah, there's some positive, happy news with this dolphin energy there. And it's gonna kind of spring up on you. You know how a dolphin, like when they pop their head out the water, and also the way they dive and they go up and they dive, it's kind of like being sprung upon you, but it's positive energy. So there's some unexpected news, but it's positive coming in for you rather, okay? I just want to bring the bowl a bit closer to me so I can just have a little look from above. Yeah, I can see a llama. You have a llama. Llamas are so cute. Oh, and a huge butterfly. Yeah, that's why I needed to see it a bit closer. So major transformation. As we know, you're having a financial transformation, that's for sure. Okay. But also this sense of metamorphosis, right? Getting your wings back with that freedom. The recent teacup I did, I know that touched on that too. This could be an extension of that reading. Okay. So it may be worth having a look at that. And butterflies can also be a sign for you, and llamas, okay? Llamas, I'm hearing this is symbolizing some type of good luck. And also parts of the world where llamas reside, okay? But I mean like their natural habitat, not when they're, you know, in a country that's not their natural habitat. those countries are connected here, okay? This can be the travel, this could be where you are now, currently in the world, okay? And we also have like there was a brand of stationery that was branded with llamas, okay, here in the UK, and the catchphrase was no drama llama, no llama drama. So there's, you know, a bit of a meaning for you with that, because it's almost as like, yeah, the drama's just leaving your life, okay? No more drama in your life. Okay, let's see if this, yeah. All right, let's see the card I drew for you. The stork, yeah. Moving on, happy, good news, blessed home, blessed travel, and energy of blessing. So I will say this, for some of you, this good news that's unexpected, it's to do with pregnancy, okay? I will say that. Rather the energy of pregnancy. I try to be, you know, I don't do health readings, as you all know, but I will make the term the energy of, right? So there's the energy of pregnancy and news of that unexpectedly. The key on the bottom of the deck, that's yes. So yes to what I just shared there, okay? And it's also yes to this good news that's coming in for you. And you know, the key here, it's goals, right? It's achieving, it's unlocking. So you're going to be entering a period of unlocking your potential and reaching your highest potential, okay, Bull One? Oh, and look, the letters. So let me just take that, and then I'm gonna and blessed energy. But I'd like to shuffle as well, okay? So let's just get one more from the shuffle for you. Yeah, the fox. Yeah, so you know, the fox here is some guidance for you to keep your goals under wrap, keep, you know, move in silence where you can, where it's possible. You know, when you have your good news, when you're sharing, be selective, you know, with who you're sharing news with. Use your discernment, because the fox is someone that's kind of watching and prying. You know, the fox isn't always negative, it all depends on the context, right? But in this context, that's what I have, and that's what I'm sensing and picking up. Okay, there's someone in particular who really follows like your moves. They may even be to do with these delays and financial situations going on for you, right? They can be involved because ultimately there's some type of manipulation, but they are not going to have any power. They don't hold any power, and neither does anyone who is trying to pry and to be in your business, okay? But it's so that you can protect yourself in the physical reality, because they can still cause, right? They can get up to mischief just by doing things like making a complaint, or, you know, that's the physical reality, the way that they can start to affect things, but ultimately they can't penetrate, they can't actually make a huge indent, right? That's what I'm getting at. So, okay. All right, Bull One, that was your reading. I do hope you enjoyed that today, and I will see you very soon for another one. Bye for now. Hello Bowl 2, welcome to your reading. Let's see some general messages for you. Okay, so I'm being given a reference to a bridge. Oh. Interesting. That's the first time I've had this happen on my channel. Oh. Okay, Bowl 2, I recommend keeping your protection up. There's a need for protection and cleansing, okay, to avoid any interferences. And if you've been sensing interferences, for some of you, I hear this can connect to the dream world. You may have had some dreams, you know, borderline, not really dreams, but kind of giving you a sense of uncertainty, okay? Though I have to say that it's actually showing you something important. So it's not something negative. It's like getting your attention. There's a need to get your attention, especially with the candle going out like that. It's the first time, as I say, this has ever happened on my channel, and when I've done a candle wax reading. So there is certainly a sense of you taking care of something, okay, that it's being brought to your attention. I'm not being shown specifically as of now, but I do see a snake here forming in your bowl, okay? Though I do see this snake energy is more so protection energy here, okay? It's almost as though, you know, the snake is appearing as I'm saying those words of, you know, look out for something here, all right? This will probably be a bit of a mystery reading. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so bowl 2, this is going to be quite specific, and it's connecting to a particular person, okay? For some of you, this is an ex energy. For others, this is a ex-friend, ex-family member, okay? They're trying to access you in some way. You could be in a no contact, you don't have to be, but ultimately there is this tension. Now the thing is here, it's you and your potential, okay? There's something here to do with you and your potential, and this person, these particular energies wanting to access that, which is why it's important that you cleanse your energy and have your protection up, keep your protection high. Now, it's not something, you know, that they can do that's detrimental here, but it's more so, it's to bring to your awareness the truth about who they are and who they were, right? Where it regards an ex-friend. There's something that's trying to be revealed to you. And though it may seem like it's a bit of a ungrounded, chaotic energy, it's just truth. That's what's coming. It's the change that it will bring for you in truth. So it's something that's positive, even though it's showing up in a way that seems like this is a bit chaotic. How do I decipher this? How do I break it down, right? You're being brought truth. You can see a cute koala bear here, koala bear face. Koala bears can be significant. Okay. And it's interesting because when I look at this koala bear, it's quite alert and it's big eyes, and I'm just seeing like the face, you know, and it's got a small body. So this tells me that, you know, there is a higher power looking out for you, like almost like being on watch. And you know, koala bears, they look like they're cute, and they are cute looking, right? But they have very powerful claws, right? They're climbers. They can see things from a higher distance, and also they love eucalyptus leaves, so eucalyptus can be significant. Okay, this may be something you incorporate in cleansing. It's guidance to use eucalyptus in cleansing, you know, these very like strong smelling scents, right? I also see like an outline of the diagram of the womb area, so interesting. My candle's getting a bit smoky. Okay, so bowl 2, really the message for you here is that it's like a final cutoff point for you, okay? Even if these people aren't in your life, there's still something going on here energetically, as we can see, right? It's like the final remnants, the residual energy. There's something that you finally need to cut off, and for many of you, okay, it's connecting to your feminine aspects, and particularly, okay, the sacral chakra. the womb area, okay, is coming forward as significant. This could be like a matter of calling back your sexual energy, all right? Like you may have done that already, but there's like another need for that, okay? And of course, that's not applying to every situation, but it's connecting in some way, shape or form, okay? Yeah, I'm actually starting to get a bit of a headache. So, you know, really protect that crown chakra. You may have been getting headaches as well, you know, when you come to this reading a few days prior or weeks prior, but it's something that's been coming up for you. Yeah. Yes, and the thing is here, what's behind this? Okay, yes, it's about access to you, but it's also about it not ending. You know, this energy and these energies that are presenting themselves, they want things to continue. They're hanging on. It's like they're hanging on to this thread, right? There's like a bit of thread that they think they can just hang on to, and somehow they can hang on to you. But it's not going to be that way. Yeah. And interestingly, you chose the purple candle. Purple candle, the color purple is all about psychic protection. There can be a tie here, okay, in the physical reality, which is why this is showing up for you in this reading. Even though I have the sense and I pick up you, the collective, you're moving on, you're putting things in place, you're moving forward, but there could be physical ties. And what I mean is that there may, okay, let me get my words out. There may still be a deed that you share, a home that you share. There may still be, you know, there's children that you share, a pet. There is something in the physical reality that has meant you couldn't just make this snap, you know, right, it's completely done and I don't have to deal with them. So for many, this can be a bargaining chip. You know, this is the bargaining chip. This is the thread, the bit of tiny thread they have left trying to keep you there, right, and access you. Even if you are in different living situations, there can still be that there's like something that needs to be, you know, sold, for example, right, with the housing, or just perhaps it's items in the house that need to be shared out. Okay, that's kind of what they're using as their bargaining chip. Now, one more thing from this, I want to touch back on those of you that have had a dream bringing you information, and also what you're picking up intuitively, right? It's to just pay attention to what they will come forward with, asking you to agree on something. So where there's this communication, I do have, for many it's minimal communication, but where there is going to be a no contact broken also, because that does come forward, yeah, there's hidden clauses in what they're coming with. And what I mean is an apology. It's coming with strings attached. A gesture to meet up and let's go to this restaurant we used to go to. There's strings attached. So just keep that in mind, that it's not coming without conditions and strings attached. It's just another way to keep this thread, to hang on to what piece of you they have. Okay? So with that guidance, you know, do what you need to do that protects you and puts you first. All right? We're going to see some cards for you as well. So, you know, the whole reading is not going to be about this as much as it's important, but I also want you to see that there is something beyond this, okay? But, you know, it's important, right? The universe is really showing you, you know, you're picking it up correctly. You are highly intuitive, and your dreams, your senses are telling you something, okay, to protect you and to help you get onto your next path. I see a little spider here. Spiders can be significant. They certainly represent protection energy, okay? You may be noticing spiders more often than usual. They're looking out for you. I'm trying to think. This looks like hyena. There's a hyena there. Just the big eyes and the long snout. You know, the movie Lion King, and there's the hyenas, and one of them is like very, well, they're kind of the bullies, right? Aren't they? The hyenas in the Lion King. So there's some reference here about the hyenas, and yes, you know, these energies, you can have felt bullied, right? There's the sense of bullying energy, and trying to, as we've seen, keep control, okay? So it kind of been more than one person that you've had to deal with, you know, whether it was the ex-best friend, the ex, right, an ex-family member, but someone was backing them up to kind of come at you as well. But the thing is here, okay, not only, as we've seen, you're protected, you are going to move past this. So look, to summarize, because it kind of unraveled in a way that I was trying to grasp for that, you know, what's the meaning, like what's the sense for this to be shared? And it's this, okay, to know that you're protected, to know that you've done the right things, you've done the best things you can do so far up until this point. Very similar to bowl one, okay? That's why both, I understand now why both are being pointed out as relevant. And it's also, okay, for you to know that this is it. Once this passes and you move through this, you're closing this up, you're closing up this chapter with these people. You made the right choice, you're getting out of it, you'll get away from them. You know, you're going to see that, you know, all along you did know, you knew to an extent, right? Your intuition was telling you, but it was how to get away from this person. It was how to get away from, you know, if it's more than one involved here. You kind of had to, how can I say, because it's like this sense of you had intuition and you knew, you started to gain awareness of what was really going on, but it wasn't something you could instantly exit. And you had to endure. So, you know, the message here is for you to know that you are moving on from it. You're getting out of it. It's going to be done. Just see your bowl. Now you have a raccoon here. It's interesting because I feel like, you know, for many of you who chose this bowl, it's at night time that you get a lot of spiritual insight. You know, with the raccoon being there, it's almost as though, you know, you may be very wakeful. You may be, you know, have nights where you don't sleep a lot. Okay, I'm going to move to the cards because I feel like that's as much as we can go with the bowl, and the energy is very strong. So let me see the card I've pulled for you already. We have the Sun. Yes, look at that. Look at that. The Sun. See? The Sun speaks for itself. Sun is also about change, right? So major change. You're going to be closing out a major cycle. Okay, 6 is significant, as can 666 be, 777, and 11, and 111. You may be seeing those numbers. They may connect to your situation some way. Look, the man in the heart. Ooh. So after what you've been through, Bowl 2, what you're going through, you may be thinking, I'm never gonna love anyone again. I'm done. It's just not for me. But it's here. Of course, we have free will. Doesn't mean you have to say yes to it, but there is something very blessed, unexpected turn of events when it comes to love, which, as I shared, you may be at that place and thinking, I'm good. I'm just gonna live my life. It's me. I'm gonna be happy and have my things. I don't need a relationship. I don't need, or just to have that type of commitment in my life. But it's almost as though this is a gift for you, and not because you're gonna need it. No, you're the sun. When you're the sun, you're the life force. You're the one who's feeding. Feeding might not be the right giving, rather. Okay, you're shining towards others, and others are going to be drawn to you. But that's what I see, is what's here, right? So let's get a couple more cards. And also, aside from that, it's this sense of you having that ultimate self-love, okay, with the sun and the love heart together. So let's see what else. The woman. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's clear. Wow. So the man can represent you, the woman can represent you. We don't have to get too focused on gender, though of course, I will be reading for a man or a woman, and there's a couple coming together here. A couple who will be very much so in love. And the wedding for many will come out of this. Oh, look at a home. You're going to love your new home. There is a new home here, and you are going to absolutely love it. It's like, I have my goosebumps. So, Bowl 2, right? You're going to have that Pinterest home. I would like that too. That's nice. That's nice. The Pinterest home, when it's like you've got all the pins and you've just been like saving the pins of all these different things, and all very beautiful or like aesthetic and just exactly specifically how you want. You're getting that kind of home. And look, the home doesn't have to be that right away, but you're going to create it and make it that way, and I'm being given that the reference to a dollhouse. And how the dollhouse, when you're a kid or whatever, you can just move the furniture around, you can put the things in there you like. You're literally going to have your own dollhouse, but in life size. And also here, where the finances are a concern, that's not going to be. It's not going to be. You're going to start, what I hear is from scratch, and you're rebuilding. But it's gonna look so beautiful. Okay, and as I say, it's giving Pinterest, getting all my wish list off my Pinterest board. I love that. Right. Maybe it's time to start making a Pinterest board, Bowl 2. Start thinking big and wishing big. Yes. For some of you, you're going to move to a different country. And also, this is about the person you're meeting. They're going to be from a different country, okay? They're going to be overseas, or it's like you're overseas and you're going to their country. Whichever way round it is, there's overseas energy and travel. Of course, it won't be for everyone, though it's a strong energy, okay, that I'm picking up. So somehow there can be a different culture, different languages being spoken here, and ultimately, there's travel. Aside from that, when it's not about, you know, a person being from a different place. There's just travel here and taking a trip, visiting a beautiful building, a beautiful home. Okay, you could be renting a beautiful Airbnb on the coast, you know, like I'm being drawn to Greece and the, I think it's Ionian, you know, like the islands, okay, islands of some kind, but it's Mediterranean and overlooking a view. Yeah, so you're gonna have your dream life ball too after all of that. And yeah, I say 100% yes to that after all of this. So there you go. Okay, that was your reading. Absolutely beautiful, both readings wonderful. And yes, I recommend seeing bowl 1 if you didn't, because I just do feel it's an extension today, and I was given the information like this is, both bowls can be relevant, okay, which happens often when I'm doing the readings. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much. Thank you also so very much for all your recent comments. Wow, very touching, and I just love hearing back from you, the collective, what resonates with you, you know, parts of your journey. Thank you so much, and for showing your support. You know, I just really love that, and it's not going unseen, okay? I always try to get back to all of you and reply. You know, creating a community, a place where people are coming, you know, whether it's transitioning, you know, it's a transit point to come and get the messages they need to move forward and change and heal. So thank you so much, and be very blessed. Bye for now.